Hello guys, today we'll be taking on the Lightning Tyrant, Tyrant Unleashed. Now the rewards aren't really that great, so don't feel pressured to finish this trial. Alright, so I want to show some of the mechanics with as easy of rotations as possible. The ideal is to pick a friend unit that has Diabolus and also has Demon Killer. Yeah, this one, Battle Intelligence, has Demon Killer in it. But doing it will allow you to skip and will make it quite easy. So we will try to find a unit that doesn't have Diabolus. Oh, that's too powerful. How about this one? Alright. I think this is about... Alright. So, since Diabolus is gone, that is disabled Esper, it is as good as having no Esper whatsoever. And also, this is ideal, no status resistance. So, the best scenario that you can get is have status resistance and then use demon killers because the boss is just a pure demon. What I will be showing you would be a way of beating it even without the status resistance and as easy of a rotation as possible. So this is my Xuan. As much spirit as I can put in him. And believe it or not, all these STMRs are all off banners. Aerith never pulled for her, just keeps coming over and over and over again. Alright. So let's talk about our tanks. Warrior of Light has full evade and full provoke, and then he also has Odin that has finger snap. That is important for the second battle. Paladin Cecil, I just slapped in as much survivability as I could, and that includes having no weaknesses to resistances and whatever. Just slap in, and I don't think you need that much spirit because I did not really feel that he was in any danger in all the tries I practiced this strategy for. So yeah. And this one carbuncle is just because of the missions. Now let's talk about the gear for these two. How should I explain this? On the third fight, we need to deal very specific elements. So the boss is going to say, hit me with fire and lightning. So we have to deal fire and lightning, and it has to be AoE. We cannot take Rainbow Robe is because the more extra elements other than fire and lightning that we deal, the more moves it has. So if you do Rainbow Whip, so you have fire, lightning, and 6 other elements, he's going to retaliate based on the 6 other elements. However, if you have 3 fire, lightning, and wind, that single extra element, the retaliation is livable. And that is the reason why we need to be very specific with the elements that we dish out on the third phase. Now, the reason why we have Golbez, the gear for Golbez is just pure survivability, nothing more, nothing less. And he's not gonna do much on the first 2 phases. Now, the reason why we have Golbez is because he can dual cast fire and wind, any kind of combination, except when the combination has lightning and light. His light is not spammable, that's why. So in order to deal with it, we have Dr. Aiden. We equip Dr. Aiden with dual cast, so that he can dual cast either a Thandara or his innate Banishka with Curaja. So what happens is, if the boss say, deal me light and earth. So this guy is going to do earth, and this guy is gonna dual cast light, Banishga, and Curaja. And that's the idea for Doc Aiden and the idea for Black Mage Golbez. They are geared more or less on the same style. Now, there is, if you may have noticed, Summer Parasol. The reason for the Summer Parasol is some of the Golbez's skills actually use evoke. So I thought it might cause some problems. So this Summer Parasol will guarantee that we always have Esper Orbs to spend. However, I just realized that there are 3 enemies, which means 3 sources of Esper Orbs. So Esper Orbs were never really a problem. So I do not think that this is at all required. But if you have it, put it there anyway. And also, this Golbez armor, believe it or not, also a lot of off banners. And I never pulled for Dark Mage Golbez back then because nobody pulled for Dark Mage Golbez by then. Alright, the last one is the upgrade package. And this one I really pulled hard on it. The reason is life extension. This is at the start of the fight. So even if the start of the turn. So even if your MP is 0, at the start of the turn, you always guaranteed to have 10% of your MP. That would be 10% of 850. It would be 85. And then since it's Doc Aiden, we dual cast his MP restore. That will be 32, I think. And that will be 60 to everyone. And this is important because the opponent is a mana drainer. An MP drainer. Alright, so what I'm going to outline on this particular turn is the important moves. Now, this is an important move. Paladin Cecil doesn't need to do a move. This guy doesn't need to do a move. And then, I'm just gonna assume that you know how to use Xuan. But if you don't, I'll try to explain it a little bit. The first turn that he does is a setup turn. Set up an imbue. For the wave 1, we're gonna use fire. Now, there is a chance that the essence of despair. Oh, by the way, the stranger has an empty. He doesn't have Diabolus anymore because this is a stranger, not a friend unit. Now, there is a chance that he does some kind of dark depression thing. And it might be that your Xuan is not strong enough. It is okay because he has fatal damage protection. He has guts, so his HP is gonna be 1. He will not die. Alright? So for this turn, since we sustained no damage, we're just gonna be defending. All of them will be defending. And we will just do the Chi Acupoint end. We have the fatal Acupoint. Debilitating and fatal. Let's go. And I just realized that if you have 2k Xuans, that will die. Okay, look at this. Because of that animation, Doc Aiden has 85. And because of it's the start of the fight, he has 170 of just 85. I think that is a bug. Because life extension is supposed to be only 85. But 85 or not 85, it really does not matter. Because dual casting 32 plus 32, that is only 64. This will enable us to do this. Look at that. It's all 120. And this is an important move. None can extinguish the light within us. This is the physical cover. Cecil, for this particular turn, this is the beginning, is gonna be a buffer. He is not gonna cover. So the first thing that he can do is to, well, let's just try a breaking, and then we will enter the dark so that he can do triple moves. As it turns out, the dark mode Cecil is actually a better buffer simply because he has triple cast, and his skills are not dependent on MP. Actually, they're all HP, and as you will see later on, this is actually a big deal. So we go special arts and wind. Alright, this is important. We go wind instead of fire because he is 100% resistance to fire. So we do wind. So as you can see, our xuans are confused because we deliberately did not equip status resistance. But don't worry, even if they're confused, they deal no damage with the normal attack because they are spirit chainers and not attack. So the next thing that we are going to do is we heal that confusion with that immunity, and then we heal. And this is Doc Aiden's rotation. Heal, immunity. Heal, and then random buff. That would be immunity and more immunity. So here we have this, and then we do Saint Breaker. And what Warrior of Light is going to do is just gonna start casting cover. So what Warrior of Light gonna do is just cover, and then finger snap, cover, finger snap. None can extinguish the light. That's just cover with mitigation, and that's all that he is gonna do. Doc Aiden is just gonna heal and buff, heal and buff, heal and buff. Very simple. And Dark Mage Golbez, even simpler. He's just gonna defend the entire fight. Alright, so here, this is the third turn, and true to what I am saying, we are gonna be healing, and we are gonna be removing the buff. In fact, we're gonna be using only two buffs here. Buff immunity against ailments and immunity against breaks. The other buffs you can use it, but I do not want to complicate the rotation. So the sacrifice of efficiency, we're going to do this. We want it to be simple rather than efficient. So here what happens is we do chi, we do debilitating and fatal. Alright. So that is already very good. That is 79% killing stance. So what happens is we have a bad RNG. Yes, we have the worst RNG. He is, but that is good. We don't want good RNG so that we can show the mechanics. So he's buffing himself. So what we do is we finger snap that. And then we are just gonna be using the usual rotation for Xuan. Debilitating. And we are going to rotate this with heal and immunity. We do terrible damage. I'm just gonna repeat for Cecil. And don't worry if it's not full HP. He's not gonna have any problems at all. Another bad RNG. That is physical. Now, this is important to note that on the 5th turn, I expect a Warrior of Light's damage mitigation, AoE damage mitigation to be... Is it already gone? There's 4 turns. Okay, it's already gone. So, because it's gone, we need Cecil to do his LB. And we will do the standard xuan rotation. Repeat. And none can extinguish. Light is with us. Oh, by the way, we have the missions no more than 10 limit burst. That is our first limit burst. And we need to reserve the 5 limit burst later on because Cecil is gonna, he's going to have that mechanic, which I am going to talk about when we get there. Another bad RNG. He has his mitigation. It's always bad. Okay, so what Cecil is gonna do is go back to his old rotation. Dark Wall, Dark Recovery, and Saint Breaker. Golbez, the usual. Doc Aiden, the usual. And then this is the 6th turn. What we do is we refresh. You see, this guy, Xuan, has a rotation. 5-turn rotation. Set up turn 1, triple cast all the way. Alright. Okay, that one. I'm gonna dispel that. Get some MP, buff, defend, and we start triple casting again. Basically, that's it. Set up, then triple cast. Set up, then triple cast. His triple cast is we want to use as cooldowns as quickly as possible, and we want to use the... okay, this is good. This is good. What happens is if we cross the 40 and the 20% threshold, he is going to do that massive AoE drain called Broken Mind. Everybody gets 0 MP. And he does very dangerous attacks. And as you can see, Doc Aiden countered and had MP restored to us. But even without the MP restored to us, as long as we keep Paladin Cecil in dark mode, he can recover us with triple recovery. And as usual, Doc Aiden doesn't even need to do his MP recovery. And we can continue. Okay, once you reach the 5% threshold, he has this message. Maw of Malice belts out a dreadful cry, which means that if you kill it now, you are gonna turn into a zombie, which you do not want to do. So what happens is, we need to cast 5 different limit bursts once every turn. So every turn, we need at least 1 limit burst. Okay, 0 MP again. It's okay. With triple cast with Paladin Cecil, no problem. And then let's do the heal and remove the stop. And this is the first turn. So we will do the first limit burst. Our second limit burst in total. But this is the first limit burst in the Dreadful Cry. On the 5th limit burst, he is gonna do. Okay, never mind. I just misclicked that. And then Warrior of Light does exactly the same thing. Light is with us. Finger Snap when necessary. And it's only necessary if he does killing stance. Alright, so this is the second LB, and I believe that we have some problems with mitigation now. So we do Paladin Cecil's LB, which is a 50% mitigation for 5 turns. No need to dispel because we're not doing damage, we're just stalling. And Doc Aiden, we go back to the default, which is restore HP, and then we immune. We are immune from confusion. Gazes at us. It does Unholy Purge. Sometimes he does Event Horizon. Okay, so what happens here is Dark Wall, Dark Recovery, and Saint Breaker. Alright. Now, I believe it's Golbez's turn. This is the third one. This is the third one. And fourth one. Just gonna repeat. Alright. Undying Force, insofar as he doesn't do Killing Stance, which buffs his magic, it does not matter. Okay. Finally, this is the last one. We do Doc Eden. And we cover. None can extinguish the light within us. And since this is the last one, what we can do is we can begin the rotation. Special Arts and Tornado. But be very careful. Do not pick Azure Dragon. Pick Special Arts and Elements. Don't mix it up. Okay? Okay, so this is it. Your heroic acts have dispelled the dread. So here, if we kill him now, since there is no dread, then the zombie no longer applies to us. So what we do is we dispel that. And then since he has very low HP now, we can just use this, the Azure Dragon thing, the Acupoint. Now the thing is, this is dual cast. This is a dual wielder, so he casts it twice. And Doc Aiden is going to ensure that we have our MP back. And some HP, of course. And just so no, we're just going to use ruby light later because of the way it's going to look. So we're gonna defend. And as you can see, there will be no zombie because of our heroic acts. There is no disease that will turn us into a zombie. Now we have full MP, full HP, and we did 6 limit bursts, but don't worry, we are not doing any limit bursts anymore. Okay, so this is the real battle, if you consider that. So be very careful. This is ice and this is fire. Now, sometimes the icon for ice looks like an icon for light. Mess it up and that's a big problem. So here, we need to hit it with fire and hit it with ice. Make sure that fire and ice is AoE. Otherwise, he's going to cast a paralyze, imperil your paralyze, and paralyze your provoker, which is not fatal, but is annoying. So we do double Crusader Arts, and he is going to be our breaker. So the first turn is we need to break the sigils. Okay, they're not wisps. Never mind, I'll call them wisps. So what happens here is, I dual cast. I am going to break both of them by dual casting the break. So I dual cast. I press the red one here. I press Warrior of Light. Then I press here while he is attacking. So he goes down afterwards. So that is how you use a dual cast single target break, apply it to 2 enemies instead of 1. So once we are done with him, the next thing that we are going to do is we need to cover and we need into the dark. So this is the real role of Cecil, no longer as the MP battery slash breaker slash buffer like we did on the wave, the second wave. In this particular wave, this is now the cover Cecil, the heavy cover Cecil. And for example, if this was not fire and thing, Doc Aiden can do his skills, can do his light skill and thunder skill for the ceiling. If we had terrible RNG in which one of them is light, so would have been dual cast Banishga and Kuraja. But since we have good RNG, we do this full immunization and heal. So that's heal and buff again, just like that. That's what our Doc Aiden does. We use only 10%, 20% of his power, but it is very easy to use him this way. So here we are going to use wind again. We want to use wind as much as possible. I tried using fire, but I like wind better. I don't know why. Okay. Okay, so that dealt a little damage to Cecil. Almost half his HP. So now, that is ice and wind. Okay. So Xuan already has wind, so all we need is ice. But in case that you chose fire instead of wind, we can do this. Dual cast Binding Code, which is AoE, and Barbaricious Power. And then repeat, we do Warrior of Light. I press the Wisp. Let's try the one down here first. And then I press the one up here. Both are now broken. And now we go to Paladin Cecil. He is not a buffer. He is going to break, cover, and then go back into the light. Not very efficient, but this is sustainable. And Doc Aiden is gonna be doing what Doc Aiden did before, which is heal and then do our immunities. The 2 immunity. So we do Chi, Acupoint, and Fatal. Chi, Acupoint, and Fatal. This is not gonna dish out that much damage because of... wait, it does. Not that much, but it's still okay damage. With a well-prepared team, we can finish the fight in around 7 turns if it's really well prepared with 2 xuans. In terms of decently prepared, it's 8. So it's 7 to 9, more or less. 9 is the usual xuan that you can find in the friends list. But this is an unprepared xuan. So this is gonna be, I think, around 13, but we will see. So you notice they are both fire. That means we need to put only fire. And then I press repeat. I press the wisp. I press warrior of light. Then I press the bottom wisp. And then I go to paladin cecil, do a buff, and then into the dark. So we're gonna do into the light, into the dark, into the light, into the dark. Unlike the previous phase. The third rotation is this one. %75%. And then we go back to our default position, which is HP. No, not that one. That defense is the most accurate, but it's gonna be confusing. So let's just stick to the heal and immunity. Look at the amount of damage he is dealing to our Cecil. This is why I am telling you, you really do not need that much STMR on Cecil. Okay, be very careful with that icon right there, this icon, the light icon, this one, that is light, not ice. Okay, don't be fooled, this is not ice, it's light. Oh, and Golbez does not do light. So what we do is we can dual cast, and this is why he has dual cast. So he can heal and do Banishka. That's our light. And then our fire is here. Press that. We press warrior of light and then we press down. We go back to this guy. And then we are going to do the triple thing of Saint Breaker, cover, and then into the light. So we break, we cover, into the light. So Cecil becomes the buffer also. The magic cover as well as the breaker. Breaker, cover, breaker, magic cover, and at the same time, the buffer. Look at that damage he is dealing to us. Earth and ice. That is ice, not light. Earth, I don't think you can make a mistake with earth because it is brown. The color is good. You have Scarlimion, that's like earth. And then that, what happened? Okay. So here we have ice. Okay, that's water. Okay, that's Kagnasu is water. Scarlimion is earth. So we do that. We press repeat. I'm just gonna speed it up a bit. Here, press down. The fifth turn is some kind of a setup turn. We do this. And then here we do into the light. Into the dark. From the light. Alright. So here we have Doc Aiden. Want him to do this and then the immunity again. Because we don't have immunity. If you have immunity, you don't need to spam the immunity. But pretty much Doc Aiden doesn't have anything to do. So that's the reason we don't have immunity. So at least he has something to do with the dual cast. I said at the beginning of the video that when lightning comes out, we need Doc Aiden's help. Actually, when light comes out, we need Golbez needs Doc Aiden's help in order to seal. And that's also true for some combinations of lightning, but not the combination of lightning and ice, because lightning ice, he can deal with it with the normal Blisaja and Thandaga, not his skills. And since this is the 6th turn, wait, you just have to do it properly. This is the turn that we are able to do our special arts, and then we do this. We are running out of MP because our friend unit doesn't have MP restore kind of skills. But don't worry, it is okay because we have Doc Aiden that is going to come to our rescue later on. Never mind, just gonna do antibody boost and immunization. Here, we do the usual. Break, cover, into the light. Okay? As long as we break, we seal him properly, he does close to 0 damage. To our other units other than Cecil. And Cecil, he does almost half the damage sometimes. Most of the time, not really. Fire and lightning. Fire and lightning. Break by Warrior of Light. Okay, so as you can see, we have no more MP on our friend Xuan. So we heal and then we use the Magnus ability. Alright, so that's full MP and has an added bonus. 7th turn, we do the usual 7th turn. Chi, deliberating, or whatever. Oh, wait. Look at that. He has no more buff. And because of that, this is our special skills. We do Magnuses. You see, I just single cast this, and because he is a dual wielder, he cast this twice, and because he's a spirit chainer, he doesn't have the weakness of the double weapon, something like that, whatever. Just think that he's gonna do this twice. Alright. And into the dark. So we are just going to use our Magnuses from now on. I think our friend unit, no, I don't know why he got damaged. Very negligible, but he got damaged. Okay, that's wind and water. So here we can do the heal and then remove that break. We just have to make sure that we always have the we always have resistances to the ailments. We have here water and wind, Kanyasu and Barbaricia. Refresh. Still have a lower fire and wind resistance. Okay. We throw it. Okay, that's it. And we go back here. We break. We put it down. We go back to that guy. We need to break, cover, and into the light. Very simple rotation. Into the light, into the dark. Into the light, into the dark. I repeat the same skill over and over again. Yeah, right. Almost half Cecil's HP, but not really. Earth and water. Very easy for Golbez. Earth and water. Oh, sorry. Earth and water. With xuan, we have wind. Now my point regarding xuan now is that Imperil, Wind in Peril came from Barbarisha, and it's possible Barbarisha skills, and it's possible that you might not have it at this point of the game. So I'm not gonna assume. I'm gonna assume that there is no Imperil. That is why we stop our Magnuses. Where is that? There it is. Alright. Refresh. Break. Press it down here. Light wall into the dark. And then we go back here towards our usual treatment and full immunization. Alright. Hopefully, we can kill it next turn. That's fire and water. But I think he's already dead. Fire and water. He's already dead. So we see here, this will be our last wind. But then it is our Magnus. That's the final Magnus that we have. So he should be dead. But all the same, not necessary at all. Well, just pay respects with Cagnyaso and Rubicante's power. And then we will do the thing that we usually do. This is also not important. It's just here for the spectacle. And then we finish him off. We'll do the ruby light. That is our ruby light, our mission. So he's disappearing into the light. No items. We didn't do any items. Evoke Carbuncle, that's the last one. Use Limit Burst. We use 6 Limit Burst. 5 to trigger the zombie, and 1 for Paladin Cecil's initial 5th turn. We defend Warrior of Light, and it's gonna self-destruct. And here we are, all missions with a stranger who does not even have a single demon killer. That is how powerful xuan is. That's about it. Thanks for watching.